But here's where things get weird. While most of your DNA hangs out in the nucleus of your cells, some of it is actually located outside the nucleus in these little guys called mitochondria. These bean-shaped structures are like the power plants of your cells, taking in nutrients and churning out the energy currency of life called ATP. Here's a fun fact. Each of your cells has hundreds to thousands of mitochondria, especially in places that need lots of energy, like your muscles. And okay, we'll admit it. It's kind of weird. At first glance, these cellular power plants don't seem to have much in common with the spiral staircase in the sky. But look closer. Those twists and turns of mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA, are actually more closely related to that nuclear DNA than you might expect. You see, like the rest of your DNA, mtDNA is a double helix made up of 4 chemical bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Remember the iconic A, G, C, and T bases that spell out the language of life? Well, mtDNA uses the same alphabet, just in a slightly different order. Like nuclear DNA, mtDNA is also full of genes that make proteins that do all sorts of stuff in your body, like transporting oxygen in your blood. Where things start to diverge is how exactly these two kinds of DNA are packaged. Unlike nuclear DNA, which is neatly coiled up inside the nucleus of your cells, mtDNA is folded up in a much more compact way to fit inside those tiny mitochondria. Also, while your body has 23 pairs of chromosomes in almost every cell, each containing thousands of genes, you only have a few dozen copies of mtDNA per mitochondrion. And the number of mitochondria in any given cell varies. So you don't inherit the same amount of mtDNA as you do nuclear DNA. But maybe the biggest difference between the two is how they're transmitted. See, while nuclear DNA is a mix of genes from both parents, you only inherit your mtDNA from your mom. And you get that exclusively from one tiny cell, the egg. Sperm cells do carry mitochondria in their tails to help them swim, but they shed those mitochondria before they fertilize the egg. So if you were to chart your genetic ancestry by following your line of maternal inheritance, you'd be tracing the path of your mtDNA. And boy, is that path ancient.